Hello everyone, KRX50 here, and welcome back to Toku Toy Theory, where I take a look at the toys from various tokusatsu series and try to figure out why they look and act the way they do. So, this will be the last episode for this season, as you'd call it, of Toku Toy Theory, in which I'll be taking a look at Kamen Rider Drive's final form, Type Tridoron, as well as its associated shift car and Tridoron itself. So, let's begin. To start, we'll look at Tridoron, Kamen Rider Drive's rider machine and the source of his powers. Now, Tridoron is also one of the defining characteristics of Kamen Rider Drive and one of the things that makes him unique, as while he is not the first Kamen Rider to use a car that are going to Master Rider Black RX, he is the first rider to exclusively use a car as his vehicle. Another interesting thing about it that makes it unique is that this is both a rider machine and a super machine. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, a super machine is a term I use to describe vehicles that riders have that go above and beyond the capabilities of a normal rider machine. These include things like Gaim's Suika Arms, Wizard's Wizard Dragon, and Forze's Power Dizer. So this is what provides him with all of his tires, via the front left wheel, as that generates the tires and then sends them to drive. As you can see, the design is very reminiscent of Drive himself, being primarily red and black with white stripes going down the middle. You can see that it does have the rider symbol on his hood. You can see it has both sets of headlights as well as guns for combat capabilities. It has his own custom license plate. In addition, it has a set of 6 wheels instead of just 4, though these aren't used in this mode. And the wheels also have the rider symbol on all of them. Now, in the toy form, this has some electronics, and that'll allow us to demonstrate some of the other forms, or other features. So, another feature this has is that this can further utilize the tires on their own, or it can use the tires for itself. This is done by equipping it with a shift car, and attaching said tire onto one of its wheels. And this is called tire fueru, or tire expansion, or extension. And this allows Tridoron to actually use the powers of those tires for combat. He can also perform special attacks using this feature. So I also mentioned modes, and the thing about Tridoron that also makes it unique is that, similar to Drive, this has types. Specifically, it shares the same 3 basic types as Drive. So this is Tridoron Type Speed, but it can be changed into 2 more types. And this is Tridoron Type Wild. As you can see, the types also share similarities with the forms that they give their names to. So, 4 Type Wild takes on the form of a more off-road buggy type vehicle, using the wheels back here, but then using the upper wheels as its 2 front wheels. It also gains a new set of headlights, as well as an overall more rugged look. It also cleverly uses the underside of Tridoron to show more black than red. And this is used for more off-road environments and rough terrain. And finally, we have Tridoron Type Technic. In this form, it takes more of a kind of tank claw machine type vehicle. And you can see that it now uses all 6 of the wheels. And this also gives it some similarities to the 3 different types of shift cars, as the ones for Type Speed and Type Wild all have 4 wheels, while the ones for Type Technic all have 6 wheels. And see, it shows off a bit more green via some green on the headlights as well as on the claws. And so for this one, this can be used a bit more for combat, as you can use these arms to grab opponents, and it can also be used for utility purposes such as moving obstacles out of the way. Next, let's look at Type Tridoron's transformation shift car, Shift Tridoron. So, as indicated by the name, this is based on Tridoron, specifically Type Speed. You can see it has all the same details, even down to having all 6 wheels, though it uses the backmost wheels as a pair of buttons. The big difference here being this big mirror panel on the front, or on the top rather, that actually houses a secret image. Also, because of its design, this doesn't have a lever mode, and is instead activated using the drive button on this side.
Fire! Order engine! Drive! Type! Drive!
This changes Kamen Rider Drive into his final form, Type Tridoron. So as you can see, this form is vastly different from any of his previous forms, and that's because for this form, Kamen Rider Drive actually combines with Tridoron itself. So, starting off with the head, we can immediately see some similarities with the racing stripes along the top, the drive symbol on the forehead, as well as the headlights by the nose, or rather by the eyes. You can also see the 2 front struts that go along back into the spoiler. Now, what's something interesting about are the eyes, as one of the other interesting things about Type Tridoron is that not only does he combine with Tridoron, but also with its AI, which is also the same as the Drive Driver's AI, and nicknamed Mr. Belt. So, he has the ability to actually switch his consciousness between his own and that of Mr. Belt, and that changes his eyes to look more like the eyes of the Drive Driver. You just kind of have to bear with me, as it's a little tough to switch between the two on the toy. Coming down to the body, you can see this also resembles the front of Tridoron, though in this case you now see both one of the headlights and one of the guns. Another big detail is the arms, which you can see are asymmetrical, and that is also a very nice touch. As for the right arm, has a lot of paneling to represent how the front left side of Tridoron does have all that paneling, while for the other side, it's black and bare of any armor. You can actually see the car parts and the machinery underneath it, to represent the side that is open to actually deploy tires to drive. This is also the side on which he has the Type Tridoron tire, which is based on one of Tridoron's tires. Going down the body, you can see more of the racing stripes, as well as some different armor for his shins. And he's also got some wheels on his feet as well. And the thing about it is that with all these combined, he actually has 6 wheels on him, one on each shoulder, and then 2 on the feet. And of course, on the back he still has all of the same details. This is a very well detailed and very well put together form, and it makes sense that this would be his most powerful form, since it is him combining with the pure form of his power itself. Now, besides just allowing him to use any of the tires, it also allows him to combine tires. Drive can do this by using the combo button on the other side of Shift Tridoron in order to select a combination of 3 tires. This changes Kamen Drive into Type Tridoron Attack 1, 2, 3, giving him a tire that's a combination of Max Flare, Funky Spike, and Midnight Shadow. As you can see, it's a single tire with pieces of 3 tires segmented along it. And as you can also tell by the fact that I'm showing you a picture, this tire was not released in the main toy line. But we can then move on to the next combination. This changes Drive into Type Tridoron People Saver. This equips him with a tire that gives him the power of Justice Hunter, Mad Doctor, and Fire Braver. So, as you can see by the tire, this one instead has the sirens of the 3 different vehicles. And this also equips him with the Justice Cage, as well as the Cure Quicker, giving him the different weaponry and abilities of those tires. Next, we'll move on to our next combinations. So this would change Kamen Drive into Type Tridoron American Dream, but this was a tire combination not used in the series. And this would have given him the power of Green Vegas Dimension Cab, and Amazing Circus. So we can move on to the next combination. And so this changes Kamen Drive into Type Tridoron Koji Genbar, giving him a tire with the power of Rumble Dump, Spin Mixer, and Rolling Gravity. As you can see, it has the kanji for Koji Genba, or construction site, on it, as well as caution symbols and construction's hat, or construction worker's hat. And this also would equip him with the Rumble Smasher, as well as the 10-ton weight. And fortunately, this is the last of the forms or the tire combinations that were seen in the show. So for the rest of them, they're ones that unfortunately were not used. This would change drive into Type Tridoron Weather Report, giving him the power of Burning Solar, Road Winter, and Colorful Commercial. This would change drive into Type Tridoron Tough Guy, giving him the power of Massive Monster, Hooking Wrecker, and Deco Traveler. Then we get to our final combination. This would change drive into Type Tridoron Grand Prix, giving him the power of Monton, Jackie, and Spanner. And there we go. So, overall, Type Tridoron is a very well-designed final form for a Kamen Rider, and the way it's designed is, to me, very reminiscent of Master Rider Den-O liner form, which was design-wise meant to be Den-O combined with the Den liner. And you get the same kind of thing here, and I do like that kind of aesthetic for a rider form, in that it takes the two key aspects of a Kamen Rider, that being the rider itself and their vehicle, and combines them together into one form. It also has some nice, clever design use, such as making one arm armored while the other one is bare, as well as the tire kakimazeru, or tire mix-up aspect of it, where it can combine together three tires into one. Unfortunately, Type Tridoron also most highlights the biggest flaw with Drive as a series, which was the wasted potential. And this is something where the production team is, for the most part, really the sole people to blame, in that Bandai did program in all of these different sounds for the Drive driver and for Shift Tridoron for these different tires and different tire combinations that could be used. But the production team and Bandai itself did not design toys to go along with it, either for like a popularity or budgetary constraints. But whatever the case, there is a lot missing and a lot of untapped potential in Drive as a whole. So it is really unfortunate to me that this series that did so well with its concepts and designs did not execute them to the fullest by making full use of what they had to offer. That being said, I did enjoy this look at the different forms, and just looking at them and how well designed, and they're honestly some of my favorite designs from Kamen Rider, and as such, some of my favorite rider suits in general. But with that being said, that brings us to the end of this season of Toku Toy Theory. So I'm going to be taking another break for a little while. This time I really will try to make it not make it take too long, but I make no promises about how long it's going to last. That being said, when we do get to our next season of Toku Toy Theory, it's going to be a bit of a shorter one, but I will be doing my first look at a Super Sentai series on the show. That being said, I'm not going to be going back as far as where I started really collecting Sentai toys, which was with Go Busters. Mainly because for a lot of the older toys I have, and for a lot of the older series, it's hard to find things to really dissect and analyze. And also because some of my older toys are a bit more fragile, so I don't want to risk them breaking in my attempts to demonstrate them. But look forward to that, and just know that it will be a more recent series. So, next time I'll be reviewing the Hiho Yokai Emblem and Kaseki Metal Set 02. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.